Turn 1, fourth gear. A good place to turn in is just after the rise in the fence line to the driver's left. Braking shouldn't be necessary, but rolling off the throttle is. Try to apex right at the very end of the curbing. A good line will allow you to be inside of the curbing. Look for the track out point through the pit lane exit. You can see it beyond the end of the wall. If you're going to go wide at track out, it's more advisable to give up some speed and go 4 off in a controllable manner than to drop the left rear. You can recover from the former, but the latter is very likely to end your race. Turn 2, fifth gear. The first part of this corner has an increasing radius with the sharpest point just after the crest, and the second part of the corner has a decreasing radius as the track levels out. The car will move to oversteer at the beginning and then transition to understeer at the end. Move over to driver's right and get the car in neutral after turn 1. Look for the 2 telephone poles to driver's left. They are the reference points. Turn in just after passing the penultimate pole, and just prior to passing the final pole, apply some light brush braking. The braking is less about slowing the car and more about controlling its attitude and balance and trying to get some grip into the front tires. You know you've got the right line when you're apexing off both of the concrete extensions. Turn 3, fourth gear. Here the radius tightens before opening up a large amount, and then tightens up again right at track out. The braking zone is a longer, lighter application, and there's not a whole bunch of time to do the downshift. Apex at the end of the curbing. Try to get closer to the curbing than I did. Turn 4, fifth gear. No braking is necessary. Turn in just at the bridge. Stay more to driver's left with the apex coming as the car is straight and neutral and preparing for Moss. I don't think anybody ever takes Moss the same way twice in a session, and the line through the corner can change drastically due to the smallest of differences. The exit of Moss is critical, but the entry not so much. A minor mistake here can have severe consequences. The big slide I had here cost me about a half a second down the straightaway. For the first part of Moss, turn 5, start braking at the telephone pole before the Acura sign. Downshift to fourth and be careful to not lock a wheel. Trail off the brakes, but carry them down to apex, which is near the end of the curbing. The car will get loose off the big elevation change, so be ready and get the car neutral for brush braking and the downshift to third. The apex of 6 is the sharp, pointy bit of the curbing. Be at full power no later than at apex, and not after like I was here. Turn 8, fifth gear. I don't think there's any reason in the Spec Racer Ford to brake for turn 8, so I don't. I'll roll off the throttle after turn in and then feed it back in over the duration of this long corner. The apex is most of the second curb. At track out, the car should be pointed at the gap between the end of the tire wall and the scoreboard. Turn 9, fourth gear. 9 is slower than 8 and the least important corner on the track. Focus on the exit to allow you to have a good entry for turn 10. Some quick light braking that's just long enough to get the downshift done complete should do the trick. Turn 10, fourth gear, another late apex corner. The car will get loose at turn in, so be aware. There is a pretty significant elevation change, so also pay attention to that. There are a lot of reference points for use on the outside of the track. I like the long building at the end as it's parallel to the track and at the end of the curbing.